you on demand from the heart of Europe. This is another episode of Shot from the Point. My name is Tommy C. This is my partner, Dead on Dave, and we are still here. We are in agony. God willing, this friggin' thing's got to end. This has to end. It is driving me insane. It is mid-June. It is mid-June. This is going to run into the Olympics.
It's like the end of Lamb Chop Sing-Along. It doesn't fucking stop.
Oh, my God. It's just... And the sad part is, it was probably the best game of the playoffs.
It was.
I'm looking... I just... It's...
I don't care anymore.
I don't care. I don't care. And
I just want it to be over, or I want to blow my head off.
What the Devils are doing is epic, and I don't even care. It's epic what they're doing. It's amazing what they're doing. Marty Brodeur is handling everything.
Brodeur was nasty last night.
Oh, God. Well, you sitting there complaining about him, saying, I'm going to make it hell on these guys.
I'm just saying what he said I thought was kind of retarded.
You know what? That sounds like a motivated man to me.
Yeah, I thought it was just bluster. I thought it was just him doing what he was supposed to do. I didn't think the guy took his fucking boner pills and was gonna just crush the puck all night.
He's motivated. He knows how to win. He's calm as anything. He's the ultimate professional hockey player. He really is.
I'll tell you, though, there was 2 shots on goal that both should have went in.
So, by the way, we're talking about the Los Angeles King, New Jersey Devil Game 5 in New Jersey. New Jersey beats the LA Kings, pushing the series back to Los Angeles to a Game 6. One of only 3 teams to do this after going down 3-0. This is becoming epic. But does anybody care?
I don't think anyone cares.
Going on too long. People are talking about the Heat. People are talking about basketball. I mean, this is the NHL just has to do something about this. And you can't go to 5-game series because they did that in the 70s and it didn't work.
Yeah,
but you're going to have to shorten the amount of time. How many days could they cut off without the 3-game breaks? How many games could they cut? They could have ended this in the end of May. And that's what it's got to do. You cannot interfere with the NBA playoffs. It's just too big a sport. They're screwing everything up, Dead on Dave. Everything.
Well, I don't know about basketball is probably at its weakest that it's been in a while, man. It's just starting to come back a little bit. The numbers of basketball have been just atrocious the last few years. But I agree with you. It can't continue to interfere in this way, especially when it's avoidable, just by doing the simple things that you just talked about.
Yeah.
By cutting out some of these off days, because it's just insane.
I'm physically, I thought I started doing this for fun, and it was a goof on my Facebook page, and then I was like, maybe I could take it a little more seriously, take it to the next level, and it's been blast, but I'm exhausted, and I need a break. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to, once a week, that's fantastic, and then, during the playoffs, you do more games because, there's so much news to go around, there's so much to talk about. But this is absolutely exhausting. I
could do it every day. I think you're just a poo-nan.
Maybe. Well, talking about Jonathan Quick made the ultimate error in the playoffs by just mishandling the puck.
Man, you gotta clear the puck the right way, man. He's played too well. He's too good to be making these mistakes.
Is it exhaustion?
I don't know. Maybe it's just he doesn't have the experience yet that someone like Brodeur does.
Yeah, we might be reading too much into this. This could be just a simple mental error. It happens. It happens to everyone.
It could, but I don't know, man. It's a big spot to do that in, and the last thing you want to think is that something like that could shake his confidence for the rest of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Because things like that can get a team back into something. And look, the Devils have won the last 2 games. I still think the Kings hold the advantage here going into Game 6. Maybe I'm just naive. I think the Kings can come in and win the game handedly because I still think they're the better team. You said it perfectly during your little webcast earlier.
Well, yeah.
You said it perfectly. The Kings look like they're just taking an extra second or 2 before they shoot. It's like they're posing for pictures.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do.
They played the better hockey game in the last 2 games.
That's got to be nerves. That's got to be nerves. That's the only thing I can.
Unless there is another option.
What's that?
The fix is in.
Oh, get out of here!
The fix is
There's
in.
No fix.
Yes, I'll tell you why.
Fix a hockey game.
Yeah. You fix a hockey series because nobody cared about the hockey series. How do you get someone to care about a hockey series? You have New Jersey come back.
You're a degenerate gambler.
I'm telling. How there's nothing to do with gambling.
It's got everything to do with gambling because every gambler I've ever met in my life that believes in fixes.
because anything can be fixed. If you don't think it can, you're just naive.
No, I don't think it can. I think.
What are you talking about?
Hockey's too wild a game. It's not like football or it's not like basketball. I could believe.
Quick's mistake. You're telling me Quick's mistake can't be explained by a fix. In fact,
I will say this: if you were going to fix, I'm not talking. This is insane, but I'm going to leave it at this. If you could fix a hockey game, that's about the only person you would have that was probably the only. You would have to get the goalie. You would have to get the goalie.
That's my whole point.
Let me tell you something. It doesn't make sense because in the Black Sox scandal, these guys weren't making dirt. These guys are multi-million-dollar athletes. What the hell are you going to bribe them with? What kind of money do you got to put up to bribe them?
Maybe Jonathan Quick likes the hookers.
Yeah, could be.
I'm not saying that it's fixed. I'm just saying it's an explanation. I'm saying it's an outside-the-box explanation to an otherwise unexplainable situation.
It's a completely explainable situation.
No,
the
way the Kings have played. Not the way.
Oh God, you're making me upset. And I'm coughing.
The way the Kings played those 3 games. You're telling me the first 3 games of the series, the way the Kings outplayed the Devils on every single part of the ice.
The first 2 games went to overtime. The first 2 games went to overtime, and they're close games. And Game 3 was a blowout. You're absolutely right. But otherwise, the Devils have been in this series the whole time.
No, bullshit. Physically, those first 2 games were not as close as
they're in 2-1 victories. The only blowout was
Hockey is not like other sports. A 2-1 victory, a 1-0 victory can still be a dominating performance for the winning team.
In OT? What? In overtime?
Sure.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Sure, because it's so hard to score a goal that you can dominate the way that the Kings have done. They've outplayed them, they've outchecked them, they've outhit them, they've outskated them, but the puck simply doesn't go in sometimes.
I think,
and that's what happened in the first 2 games.
You're completely insane.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you need sleep.
No,
you know what? And you need a break from hockey. Sleep. You need a break from hockey.
You need sleep, sir.
I need to do my biology for work is what I need to do. Oh God, Jesus. Well, I think I gotta be honest. I don't know who's gonna win the series. I think the Devils obviously put themselves better. They put themselves in a perfect position to commit a miracle. More than likely, the Kings will find a way to close it out, but that's not guaranteed. And I'm pretty damn sure if they lose Game 6, they'll lose Game 7.
I think you're right on that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they lose Game 6, they'll lose Game 7. But it would be an absolute riot if the Devils took it in 7 and lost an OT. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's going to set up our next up. We're going to get into a mind of a Devil fan today. Did you know that? Oh, Mind of a Devil Fan. Later on, we're going to have a little segment called The Mind of a Devil Fan. Comedian Jake Link from Woodbridge, New Jersey is going to be stepping in, and he's going to let us know what's on his mind just a little bit later in the show. I want to break, that brings up, oh God. Did you see the conversation with Zach Parise and Frenchy McFrenchman?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, this guy, he's a jackass. He's a laughing stock. Mike Milbury, he's a clown.
He's clown shoes.
He's inside the glass. I mean, do we really need a guy inside the glass? All right, you know what? I'm getting to the. Let's talk about the Parise interview. He throws the typical interview crap at him. Good job. What are you going to do? And then he says to him, he goes, "What kind of stuff are you going to bring to Los Angeles?" I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll. I don't know. Maybe I'll bring a book, or maybe I'll bring some shoes. Maybe I'll bring a hockey stick. And I mean, what kind of friggin' question is that? Parise looked at him like he was completely insane. He asked him a question about Marty Brodeur that made him uncomfortable. All he wanted to do was get off the ice. I don't know. What are you going to bring to the next? When you go watch the next game in Game 6, or Dave, what are you going to bring to the next game?
Masturbation lotion, probably.
Why not? Yeah. Why not? What are you gonna
or probably a good pillow, because if you don't take a nap during this series, man, you're just not gonna be able to stay awake. Not because the games are boring, just because you're just tired of watching hockey at this point.
Tired of watching Pierre Maguire. What are you gonna bring? What are you gonna bring? I'm gonna bring a teacup.
I'm gonna bring a better announcer.
I'm gonna bring an iPad. I'm gonna bring a gun and put it in my mouth.
If I'm insane for conspiracy theories, you're insane for your weird hatreds of certain
I
people.
don't hate anybody. I just.
Oh yeah, you say that, but obviously, if you could, you'd punch Pierre Maguire in the face.
No.
You
I might
liar!
call him
I
a
can see you
jackass.
headbutting him. I can see you headbutting him right now.
I might call him
Wait,
a
wait, wait,
jackass.
wait, wait, wait.
Mm.
I just saw it. I just saw you headbutt him in
Wow.
my dreams.
Did you?
Had a quick dream. You headbutted him.
It's one thing that actually Jake brings this up in our little chat. That where is his credentials? And the only thing I could find is he was somewhere near the bench.
Oh, he was in the bench of the Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Oh
I know.
my
I mean, it's
guy's clown shoes. He doesn't belong on the ice. He
was he
sucks.
Pittsburgh's
I
like
agree.
reporter. I mean, what is it? Where is this guy? And did you see that a couple days ago? He's on this. I'm going to pretend to be a Kings defenseman, and Jeremy Roenick's going to be the double forwards. And then Jeremy Roenick takes over the whole segment, and he obviously is the real hockey man there.
And Roenick's entertaining.
Roenick's entertainment. He's smart, and I tell you something. The way McGuire even speaks. The only thing he can do is announce. The only thing he can do is express opinions. I mean, that's the only thing I can do too. But no one's paying him
the
$1.
other announcers, when they bring in Pierre, when they bring him into segments and stuff, and they ask him his opinion, they kind of talk to him like you do a retarded child.
No, Eddie Olczyk, I think, is embarrassed by him.
Oh yeah,
I think Eddie Olczyk's embarrassed by him because he's an embarrassing person. He's just, oh God, I wish I could just switch him with Glenn Healy. And you know what? I keep doing it, because I got the option. I can switch to Hockey Night in Canada, but I never do. I never do. Because the guy aggravates me so much, I have to see what he says next.
Yeah, you know what? That's called obsession.
Oh, God.
That's about as close to hatred as you could possibly get, my friend.
What are you going to bring to the... What are you going to bring to the next show, Dave? What are you going to bring? Zach Parise, I put it in my tweet. Zach Parise looked like, he looks like he was trying to coax him in his van with all his dirty toys in the back.
Do you like vans?
Do you like vans?
Do you like candy?
Hey,
well, I have candy in my van.
Yeah, would you like to come with me, young Zach? Zach?
Put the lotion in the basket.
Zach couldn't wait to get away from him. He couldn't wait to get away from him. Who couldn't wait to get away from a moron like that? It's repulsive. It's just repulsive.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It makes me want to throw up. All right, I think we're going to go into the Mind of a Devil fan segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not in this segment, so you can if you like me, go take a bathroom break. More than likely, you're probably been wishing for this break, so enjoy it. And
let's check out the Mind of a Devil fan. Let's see what he has to say. Jake's actually he's a pretty funny comedian that really seriously needs to get his shit together and start doing shows again. But he's got some. He's a real sports guy, and why don't you just take a listen? Take care. Welcome to a very special segment from Shot from the Point. This is getting into the mind of a Devil fan. I have New Jersey comedian Jake Link.
What's up, Germany?
What's up, Jake? You are a reputed Devil fan, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I sure am. I'm one of 6.
You're one of 6. That's great. And if you win this cup, you might get one more. And with that the franchise could really use that. What are you thinking going into this game? It was an incredible game last night, Game 5 in New Jersey. The Devils, they obviously haven't given up. They've thrown everything at LA. I don't think they have actually played a bad game in the series, even though they went down 3-0 early on. But they are showing the Kings that it's not going to be easy to finish off the Devils. What are your opinions there?
Honestly, going into last night's game, there was a little bit more confidence than any other game. Like, I had a feeling that Game 1 was good. I thought the Devils were going to get blown out in Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Game 3 I almost just turned off the TV and I didn't want to watch Game 4.
Yeah, and it is. Well, with the exception of Game 3, the Devils actually, first of all, the first 2 games were overtime games. And I think what everybody was afraid of is the Kings were going to hit their stride come Game 3, and that's exactly what appeared to happen. So Game 4 was a formality. But something happened, and they were able to, even with the absence of Kovalchuk, I don't know, Kovalchuk looks awful out there.
He's hurt, lower body injury.
Does he have a lower? That was dead on Dave's. He think there was something wrong with Kovalchuk. Yeah, he didn't look like he was hustling out there last night. But you're seeing guys like Parise and even Aliash, who's not had a great playoff, really up their game. late in this series, and it is going on way too long. I am absolutely tired of hockey at this point.
I heard on your last podcast say that. I mean, it's the same way. It's like I want to enjoy time with my wife. I want to enjoy time. I want to watch baseball. I couldn't even enjoy the Subway series last night.
Well, if you, yeah, I know. I mean, it's just like I think the series started in mid-April. We're almost 2 months deep into this. It's been spectacular. All the series have been fun. I've enjoyed watching the Kings. I've enjoyed watching the Rangers, the Devils, the Capitals. The Bruins series with the Capitals is spectacular, but it's got to end. This has to end. This is going on too long. And as a Devil fan, here's what I really want to ask you. What do you think about that long break between Game 1 and 2? Do you think that affected you? And the break between Game 7 and Game 1? Between the Rangers series, I mean, that has to be. You could make a case that that's really affected the Devils' play. That's just too much time off.
It is. It's just very. You get very antsy. You start like I guess the players too, and you just jump the gun too soon when you're out there.
Yeah, I know.
Like you're just waiting, and then you come out. You come out just full of piss and vinegar in the first 5 minutes, and then you're tired out. And
yeah. That does seem to be affecting them. I'm super sick of how long the series. The NHL has to do something about this.
And honestly, the NHL, they're going through the contract negotiations,
which is sure to be a disaster.
Yeah, and have fun with. We're gonna expect a 35-game season there.
Well, if a season at all, which I mean, every work stoppage seems to be a complete disaster for them. Every CBA seems to be a complete disaster for them. And I don't expect anything different.
Well, baseball actually did it very quietly, and no one even knew about it, and they got it all done.
Baseball learned their lesson from 1994. Yeah. They learned their lesson. Hockey hasn't. And I really don't think I don't think owners care if they play or not. They're going to make a ton of money on jerseys.
Here's what I think. I think they're always trying to find a way to get people into the game, get people interested, open up the game, make it more high scoring, and they're also looking to save money. Yeah. So what they should do. They should switch to a 4-on-4 format.
Ugh. What do you want?
All the way around.
What do you want? Roller hockey? You want 9-5 scores? Is that what you want?
No.
Is this the RHI, the New Jersey Rock and Rollers? I mean, Jesus. I mean, talk about the goals having no value. Every player in the league would be Russian because they're the only ones that can dance around the ice like that. It would actually be horrible. One of the great things about hockey is the scoring that is low. The goals do mean something. When you get a goal, it's just so much hard work goes into it. And I think Bedman's been trying to turn it into the RHI. 4-on-4 is fun for a little while. There's no doubt about it. It's almost like become a special teams unit, having a good 4-on-4 team. But what is this obsession with the NHL? Oh, if we just had basketball scores, then everything would be wonderful. There's no proof in that. In fact,
well, I'm going back to using baseball. It's like with the steroid era. Everyone just fell in love with the long ball, Everybody loved Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa. They didn't care how he was getting the ball out, So who cares? Like if these scores are freaking lopsided,
you'll hate the game. Yeah, what do you like about hockey? It's physical. It's hard working. It's blue collar. You're going to take that away. You're going to turn it into a candy ass sport, which pretty much we've seen for the last 15 years. More and more, it gets more candy ass every year.
I don't think I've seen as many people get suspended for games for these hits as much as I've seen last season. If so, I don't think it's ever been as big of a deal.
Yeah.
Now with Brendan Shanahan.
There's a political movement, in my opinion. You get a lot of like thinkers, and they're all trying to make. You've seen in the NFL, you get a lot of like thinkers, and they're all trying to, soften all our sports, soften the way, going after the way we eat, going after, just about any other lifestyle, including trying to ruin our games. And hockey is just the last bastion of tough guy sports, and they want to suck the manhood out of everything.
I think they're jumping on the coattails of the NFL.
Yeah, that's fantastic news. Well, you did notice that Shanahan kind of cooled off by the end of the second round.
Yeah.
So, and I'm quite happy about that.
I guess he ran out of film in his camera. I guess I don't know.
Sure. All right, I got a couple more questions for you. A, do the Devils have a chance of pulling this out?
I'm a Devils fan, but I'm a real Devils fan. I wouldn't
have put you on if you weren't. You seem like you're insane.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know. I have a bad feeling about Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just made me happy that I wasn't gonna watch the Stanley Cup be paraded out on the ice last night.
I imagine. I
So
can't think of anything worse as wise for the
yeah,
Stanley Cup. And the other team doesn't even want to do it either. They'd rather take it home. You know, it is hard
that's
to
why
watch.
they did it. Right.
It is hard to watch an away series. I remember that when Chicago they scored Philadelphia, correct? In that series 2 years ago, and the entire arena was just a silent after Kane scored that OT goal to give Chicago the Stanley Cup, and it was just bizarre, and I wouldn't want to see it. My other question for you.
It was driving me nuts on Game 4,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that the cup was in the building, and there's no way the Devils would have it.
Yeah.
So just forcing that Game 5, and now the Game 6 fills me with hope, but I don't want to get too excited because there's actually a side note to this.
Mm-hmm.
I actually my sister-in-law went out to Vegas.
Yeah.
And she I told her put $10 on the Devils. This was in March.
Mm-hmm.
Devils were a 22-1 shot to win the cup.
That's it. I figured it'd be more than that, but God.
They're 22-1 in March.
So how much are you gonna make on that?
$220.
Oh, Jesus.
On $10 bet.
On a $10 bet.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I mean, could you bet on every single team and make money that way?
Well, I bet on the Jets.
You bet on the Jets. That was a good move.
They're actually had a more chance of winning the Super Bowl than the Devils had winning the cup.
Well, they got Tebow, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was before Tebow.
That was before Tebow. They had more of a chance than the Devils would win the cup. Well, I mean, the Devils struggled to get in there. They started changing things around after St. Patrick's Day. My other question for you is: did you see the interview with Pierre Maguire and Zach Parise at the very end of the game? Did you catch that?
I caught a little bit. It was where I was at. It was a little bit loud.
Oh, you're a bar.
No, it was at my mother-in-law's house.
Did you see the discomfort in Parise's face?
No, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't really notice it.
It was completely bizarre. I mean, what do you think of this guy Maguire? By the way, I mean he's got to be one of the worst commentators in all of sports.
I look at him. I have a hard time believing that he was ever a coach.
I don't think that he was. I looked him up on Wikipedia, and it just said that he stood behind the bench in the 91 and 92 Stanley Cup victories for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I know he can skate because he stood next to Jeremy Roenick and a few nights ago. But I really wonder about this guy's qualifications. He seems to be an absolute total jackass, and I'm sick of looking at his bald head. He looks like an Oompa Loompa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
He looks like Moby.
With less talent.
You ever see this? There's a show that came on Fox. You should Google it.
Mm.
Google the show Gregory Allen and look at the picture of the dad. That's who Pierre Maguire looks like.
he's
just Google it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
He's awful. Absolutely awful.
Like I look at him. He looks like somebody that's a vegan and he eats right. I don't think he knows anything about hockey.
I don't think he knows a thing. He's actually from New Jersey, you know that?
Really?
Yeah, he's from Eagleton, New Jersey, or some ridiculous place like that.
That's not even really New Jersey.
Yeah, I know. I don't even think it was. I gotta let me look up this guy. I look up this guy all the time because I can't believe he's even. Yeah, I call him Frenchie McFrenchman.
Yeah, Frenchie. Yeah,
Frenchie McFrenchman. He's absolutely. He drives me nuts. American Canadian. Oh, he's half Canadian, and he grew up in Englewood, New Jersey. Have you even heard of an Englewood, New Jersey?
I think Englewood's like near Newark.
Englewood Township. Ridgefield Township. I never even heard of it. I wish he'd go back to Canada. In fact, I wish he'd go to Siberia. I'm just sick of looking at his face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, you got to check out that interview with him. All right, here's what I think. I think the LA's in trouble right now, and the reason I believe that is because the more the Devils are able to push this out, the more pressure they're going to put on this very inexperienced hockey team. You got guys that won the Cup in the Devils. You don't got too many guys in the Kings that have won Cups. The more pressure they add, the less chance they have of winning this thing. I think that the Devils are going to pull a Game 7 and maybe even lose in overtime. I think LA's probably going to pull it out, but I think it's going to be torturous on you guys because by the time Dustin Brown gets his shit together, who's been absent in the series,
oh yeah,
I think it'll just be too late. But obviously the Devils have absolutely no quit in them. They're going to fight this to the bitter end.
And I think if the Devils lose,
Yeah.
I think that you're going to see the same thing in 2003. The opposing goaltender get the playoff MVP.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much set on giving this to.
Yeah, but if I were to choose anyone on the Devils that should get it would be Carter.
Carter. How about Henrique? He's had all the key goals. So you can make a case for Henrique.
Yeah,
he's Mr. Clutch. You know, he's your Claude Lemieux.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah. But like I was just saying, like Carter had a few clutch goals, Gianta.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it seems like everyone except the Stars is showing up and scoring goals.
That's how you win championships, buddy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the later this goes, I mean, obviously, literally, the later this goes, the better it is for the Devils. Of course, they were down 3-0 at point. But I think the psychological impact on the Kings is going to be overwhelming. They have to finish a way to finish. Their key to victory is Dustin Brown. Dustin Brown's been pretty much quiet in this entire series, which he was probably one of the better players on the ice in the entire playoffs. He has to show up, and he has to do more than hit. He's got to score. And if they can't find a way to do this, the experience of the New Jersey Devils hockey team will probably have maybe one of the greatest comebacks, not in hockey history, maybe in sports history. This ranks up there with the Boston Red Sox in 2004, and it would just be absolutely insurmountable and extremely difficult for Ranger fans to swallow.
Oh yeah, you know, just to have a parade right across the river from you guys.
What are you gonna have it in a parking lot again? That's a good place to have it.
You know what? I don't care where we have a parade. It's the reason why we're having a parade.
How many of you tidy whiteys are gonna go down to Newark and have a big parade?
I'll go down to Newark. I don't care. If they have that thing in a fucking crack house, I'll be going.
I think they might. They might have it at a crack house. With that rapper that made the Jersey Devil song.
Sure you saw that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he has all his season tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he was there in 95, too.
Absolutely, rooting all the way. Yeah. Guy doesn't know a hockey stick from his nose. All right, Jake, I really appreciate any final words. You got any comedic endeavors coming up?
Nothing. I'm working on some stuff. Just nothing really.
It sounds like you're really working hard, Jake. You know, good job.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, pimping ain't easy, baby. And easier being a comic.
It's been hard. Sorry to bring down the whole audience, but you know, since my dad has passed, I haven't been really going out doing any shows lately.
Sure, I understand. And by the way, I sent you a letter privately, and give the best.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. And I tell you, it's difficult for me to root for the Devils, but if they pull this out, I'm sure your dad will be smiling, and you probably get a grin out of me too. All right, Jake. Thanks, Jake. Like everybody for Shot from the Point, and I hope you enjoyed our special.
All right.
In the mind of it. Take care, Jake. Bye. All right, here we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Jake Link. Make sure you check him out.
Yeah, that was a funny segment, Tommy. I listened to every bit of it.
I know.
With bated breath.
Bated breath. Jake's he's a big Jets fan too.
Oh God.
Jets fan. He's a Mets fan.
So that means he likes.
Fan. That means he likes every single New York team I hate. Oh God. But he is. He's one of the reasons I put him on is because he's reasonable. He's not completely insane. He's not like those other.
Like me?
No, I mean he's like he's not
insane.
He's not those assholes that wrote to us. You know.
Oh yeah. Ugh. On your knees. Ugh.
Yeah, on your knees and back. And none of them have the balls to either come on or anything else.
They're pussies.
Yeah, I pussies. All right. What do you got for me in sports news?
Sports news.
News that has sports in it.
A lot happened last night.
Yeah, so I hear.
Buckle up, people, because we're about to get into some heavy-duty crap storms.
What happened with basketball?
First and foremost, the basketball, the Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It looked like the Celtics had the game in hand at certain points, especially in the first half. Celtics were out playing the Heat, and then the Big Three just took over, and they ran away with it and made Boston look old and slow and irrelevant. And the Heat are moving on to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals.
Well, Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
of the NBA. No, you're good.
What exactly happened? Because it looked like for a little while that maybe Boston had sort of psyched them out. They extended the series when the Heat.
Well, Boston had a chance to close.
Yeah,
They
and they
they
blew
could
it.
have closed in Game 6, and they didn't do it then. They got blown out. And then Game 7. I hate the Heat, by the way.
Well, yeah, so does everybody. But what happened? How did they blow it? I mean,
Well, basically, here's what happened.
mm,
Bosch came back from injury, and he started taking pressure off of James and Wade that they
okay.
were having. They didn't have to carry the entire load by themselves. But more importantly, Garnett wasn't hitting the shots that he was hitting before. The rest of the role players, just the defense really slacked off.
Mm-hmm.
And they allowed way too many drives by James. James was able to dictate the entire pace of both Games 6 and 7. Wade became clutch, like Wade usually does.
Mm-hmm.
And in Game 7, Bosch really showed how important he is to this team because it seemed every big play in the second half, Chris Bosch was a part of. This guy is not a three-point shooter. He hit like 3 threes last night in clutch spots.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the third quarter, you could see it was starting to slip away. And then in the fourth quarter, about midway through, the Heat just put the pedal on and said, "You know what? This is done."
So this was a case of the Heat not being 100%, and once they got 100%, the Celtics didn't belong in the same
Heat
room.
aren't. I don't think the Heat are a fantastic team.
Mm-hmm.
They got 3 guys that are every game they play so far.
Well, they got 3 all-stars.
They've had the best 3 players on the court.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work last year. I mean,
no, it didn't. It didn't work last year, and it's not going to work this year because.
You really think Oklahoma's going to beat them?
Oklahoma's not only going to win this series, they are going to embarrass the Heat.
I guarantee the Heat are going to run over them. I guarantee that LeBron James has probably got his act together. As much as I don't want to say it, they're going to destroy. They're going to destroy that team.
Are you insane?
No.
Are you insane? Did you not see what Oklahoma did to the Spurs? The Spurs are a better team than the Heat.
I doubt
that. The Heat have 3 guys and then a bunch of other dudes who can barely play on a YMCA squad.
You hate LeBron.
I hate LeBron. Can't stand him.
So you can't be objective.
But I am good with my judgments on teams, and the Heat are not a great coach team. They don't have a bench. They don't have a supporting cast. The Thunder, they can match up with the big 3 with Harden, Westbrook, and Durant.
Who are they?
Who
are they?
They're 3 all-stars as well.
Are they? I never heard of them.
Yeah,
couldn't be too good.
They match up statistically with Wade, LeBron, and Bosh.
Big deal statistic. That's
the rest of that team, Ibaka, a whole bunch of other guys on that Oklahoma City team.
The Rangers are a better team than the Devils on paper.
Basketball and hockey are 2 different sports.
Yeah. Well, home advantage actually works.
Don't be surprised when the Thunder win this in 5.
I'm going to goof on you.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to
when we finally go to week shows instead of this playoff edition, I'm going to goof on you every week.
You're going to be like, wow, I can't believe how right. I've only been right on so many things this playoff.
In hockey, not in basketball. It's a different game.
I've been right in basketball. I just haven't been telling you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you this.
Wrong about the Spurs.
I'll tell you this. I'll bet with you right now that if he run over Oklahoma, run them over like they don't belong there.
Oh, I'll take that bet.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't know basketball enough because
you know why? Because the Heat,
might not even be
Oklahoma is a new team. They're gonna have to get spanked, just like the Heat got spanked last year.
No, the Thunder have been in the playoffs the last 3 seasons. They've been together. They paid their dues, and now they're playing the best basketball they've played. I'm not even sure the Heat are going to be favored here, man. Yeah. Most analysts are thinking the way I am.
Really?
Yes.
See that article. So what happened in this fight, Dave, this big controversial fight?
Well, basically, Tommy, what happened was this. Bradley won the fight by a split decision in a controversial manner over the former champion, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao.
Okay. And Pacquiao is like some kind of legend over in the Philippines, right?
To everybody not named David Vancura, he is a god.
He is a good fighter by your admission, correct?
He's a fantastic fighter.
Okay, he's fantastic.
But he's nowhere near as great as people want to paint him out to be.
There does seem to be a lot of buzz in the internet that he got ripped off. He is beloved from what it's seen.
Yes.
I did check out the HBO 24 when I was at Drill. Was it 2 weeks ago? During the Devils Rangers series, and I got to be honest with you. By the end of the, from what I saw, I kind of like Bradley a little better.
I did too. I liked him going into the fight. Actually, I like Bradley to upset Pacquiao, just not in the manner in which it happened.
Yeah, and that's what you have a problem with. So
I have a problem with people saying some of the things that they're saying about the fight. I don't see how anybody can say that Pacquiao dominated this fight. Certain parts of it, there's no question he did, but there's a lot more to this fight. The round by round basis of what actually happened. If you go back and you look at the fight and you look for certain things, the way that Pacquiao tried to steal rounds, and especially the second half of the fight in which Bradley dominated, which is going to stand out more in the judges' minds anyway, you can kind of see how Bradley won this fight. I can't say definitively that I think if anything, it should have been a draw.
Well, I tell you something. From what I'm seeing, I don't know. Do you know what the scores were for all three? Everybody had this close.
It was 115, 113 on all three cards.
Except two of them went for Bradley and one of them went for Pacquiao.
Two went for Bradley, one went for Pacquiao.
So it was a close fight no matter what. So no matter what happened, it was a close fight. So maybe you can explain this to me. Why the outrage if it was such a close fight, even by the scorecard?
Everybody else, every other card had it like 11 rounds to 1 for Pacquiao. Some people had it all 12 rounds for Pacquiao, and those people are what I like to call fucking delusional.
Okay, give me a round by round. Give me a round by round.
They're so enamored with Pacquiao, but here's what actually happened. This is when I watch something, it doesn't matter how much I hate somebody or how much I don't like someone's boxing style or sports style. I'm very objective when I call something.
All right. So what happened? What happened?
Okay, this is what happened. Bradley came out. I feel he won the first 2 rounds. The second round, people thought Pacquiao won because Pacquiao started doing this the entire fight, where it would be the last 45 seconds of a round, he would steal it. He would try to steal the round. You can't win championship fights that way, okay? Plain and simple. Rounds 3, 4, 5, Pacquiao dominated, no question.
Okay.
It looked like at any given time, it was a punch from being over. Bradley had a broken foot. We didn't know about it until after the fight was over. He broke his foot in like the first round.
That's big heart, man. Let me tell you.
Huge heart. Bradley stuck in there, weathered the storm, and at the end of round 6, he started to figure it out. I feel the rest of the fight, you can make a case that Bradley won every round. Pacquiao stopped aggressing. He stopped pushing forward. All he was doing was counterpunching. It's all he was doing. And there's another big thing he was doing. He got called about 9 or 10 times in this fight for pushing down on Bradley's head because Freddie Roach was really worried about Bradley headbutting Pacquiao. So he was telling Pacquiao to push down on his head, which you can't do. You can't bend a boxer over and push down on his head. Pacquiao kept doing it and kept getting sent away for it.
Did Bradley actually headbutt Pacquiao at any time?
There was one incidental headbutt where they collided, but it wasn't Bradley's fault. It was both of their faults. It was completely incidental.
Okay.
But Pacquiao still continued to push down on his head. Now, in the judges' minds, that's weakness.
Yeah.
He was slowing down the pace of the fight. So I can understand from if you're scoring a fight like that, I can understand why they scored it the way they did.
It sounds like it was a close decision, and that's what happened. That's what split decision
is.
It's supposed to be close. You know, this sounds like to me.
But to everybody else, if you don't watch the fight and you just read what everybody says, then it's the biggest screw job in boxing.
Yeah, that's what that's the impression that I get.
And I think it's being built that way for a reason.
And why's that?
This all has to do with one thing: money. Money in 2 different forms: money as in cash, and in money as in Mayweather.
Oh, I see.
Now, if you like, I can explain to you exactly what I think is going on.
All right.
And I'll try to be as clear, concise, and quick as I possibly can.
You don't have to be quick. You just go, tell me what you think. I mean, I didn't see this fight, so but I mean, your opinion is going to be super controversial.
Oh yeah, but I think if you think about it, what I'm about to say makes so much sense that if I thought about it, and I'm just some lowlife dude in the attic, that the greedy pig bastard of a person that Bob Arum, the top promoter on Top Rank Boxing, he's thought about this, and he's already counting money. All right.
Okay. So the money's not going to be there now because his Mayweather fight's not going to take place.
See, that's what everyone was crying out to the heavens, that the Mayweather fight is never going to happen now because Pacquiao lost. I think that now, down the road, the Mayweather fight is more certain than ever.
No kidding.
And here's why. You see, if Pacquiao were to come in and he would have drubbed Bradley the way a lot of people thought he would have last night, who does Pacquiao fight next? He can't fight Cotto because Mayweather just beat Cotto. Mayweather's still not going to give Pacquiao a 50-50 split. So Pacquiao's got no one except Marquez, who they've already had 3 fights. And a lot of people feel Marquez won the last 2 fights, even though Pacquiao got all 3 decisions. Nobody wants to see Marquez-Pacquiao 4.
No.
They're not selling. In fact, Pacquiao's fights have been on a downward trend. Nobody should. The MGM Grand was not sold out last night.
No kidding. That's bizarre for a fight of this magnitude.
Very bizarre.
You know, Dave, you might be right, and here's why. You know, the media has a way of, and it might just be money. It's other people's money. It's not probably money to do directly with the fight. The media makes more money with a Mayweather, I'm assuming, from what you're telling me, with a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. And now that we don't have that on the table, it just could be a bunch of angry media types that are saying this is a worse decision than maybe it is. I mean, it sounds like this decision could have gone either way. So they're just crying and whining, and maybe an attempt to create a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight almost by, default. Well, and you're telling me offline that one of the reasons that fight hasn't taken place to begin with because Pacquiao has a history of drug use, and Mayweather's not going to get in a ring with him unless he, takes some drug tests. Yeah, well, Mayweather wants blood testing up to the day of the fight. Because he's accused Pacquiao, and in fact, Pacquiao has a defamation lawsuit pending against Mayweather. Wow. Yeah, over the whole steroid thing, because Mayweather firmly believes Pacquiao has been juicing. Oh, wow. And Mayweather doesn't want to give up that much money of the fight. I don't blame him. Why? I don't blame him either. I mean, there's other issues there. If he's a drug addict, I mean, there's always... Well, and now it's come out that Pacquiao's not clean. He's corrupt in a lot of ways. Now he's religious now. And there was no drug test between Bradley and Pacquiao in this last fight? Yeah, there was the standard drug testing that they usually do for steroids, but not the Olympic drug testing, the blood testing and all that stuff. So he wants the whole... Pacquiao won't do that. Why not? Because he's probably juicing. Yeah, well, that's probably it. That's at least that's how I look at it. But of course, that is the biased part of me. What do you say to the argument that the punches that Bradley landed were weak? They were. There's no question about that. Pacquiao landed more punches. He landed more power punches. There's no question about that. Okay. However, Bradley continued to press the action. He was punching and bunching in bunches, and he wasn't allowing Pacquiao to really string off anything. And a lot of those power punches and the total punches came in rounds 3, 4, 5. A lot of people might have been disillusioned by that because 3, 4, and 5 were so dominant for Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. But Bradley punches like a 4-year-old. There's no question. No. And the guy's built. So is he like a point fighter, like that? It looks like it. He's kind of like Mayweather-esque. He'll just pepper you to death and win technically. But he wasn't even the better technical fighter for most of the fight. He just kept pressing. Yeah, and that's why I think he got the decision. And to everybody out there who's saying, how does this possibly set up a Mayweather fight? Well, here's how it does. Yeah. You see, you can't sell the Marquez fight. So if there's not a fighter to be had, then you have to create a fighter. And that's what they did with Bradley. And here's what I mean by that. Now, Bradley's the champ in a controversial manner. They already had a rematch in case Pacquiao were to lose. They have a rematch date for November 11th. That's already set in stone. So now they got the next 3-4 months to build this up, to build this fight, to talk about how it's Pacquiao's reemergence, how he's disrespected, that he's going to prove everybody wrong, how he's going to show the media and show the boxing world that he's still the man. And he's going to dominate this fight. It's going to go 12. Mm-hmm. It has to go 12. And if it happens this way, you know that I'm right and that there's might be some kind of conspiracy going on. This is what I think will happen.
It'll go 12 rounds. Pacquiao will be dominant, but Bradley will just survive.
I see.
He'll lose the title back to Pacquiao, and that doesn't set up Mayweather because now Pacquiao just once again went 12 rounds with someone he should have dropped, so Mayweather's not going to give the money to him.
All right.
That will set up Bradley Pacquiao 3. And in that fight, and that'll happen next May, now Bradley's a name. Now Bradley is legit. People are going to be in his corner and going to be thinking that he has a chance to win this fight.
How old is Pacquiao?
Pacquiao is 33, 34.
He's almost done anyway.
He's getting up there, and Bradley's 28.
So the rest, this is going to hurt. No matter how good Bradley is, unless he fights Mayweather himself, which is probably more likely, I guess.
If I'm wrong, then that's exactly what will happen.
He's going to have to. So if he beats Mayweather, does he prove himself in the eyes of the boxing public?
If Bradley were to beat Mayweather,
yes,
absolutely, because Mayweather's never lost.
So I mean, skip the Pacquiao fight. Let's go right to Mayweather.
You can't do that because Bradley, being the champ, is going to want more money than Mayweather is going to want. No one wants to see Mayweather Bradley. Mayweather will kill Bradley.
Really?
Yeah, and since there's it's already contractually obligated, there has to be the rematch. That's why this all smells funny.
Yeah.
Because there has to be this rematch between Pacquiao and Bradley.
Sure.
So like I said,
that seems fair. I mean,
yeah,
that seems fair
I
to me.
agree. And Pacquiao win, and then in the third fight, Pacquiao's gonna murder Bradley. He's gonna beat him within an inch of his life.
Yeah, but even by that time, he could be 35 years old.
Yes, but it'll only be this will all take place by May of next year.
Are you kidding me? They go that
Yeah,
fast?
because the next fight's in November, and then they'll fight again in May, and that sets up Mayweather Pacquiao for November of next year.
What if Bradley gets destroyed in the second fight?
It won't happen. If the conspiracy theory is correct, that can't happen.
All right.
Because that leaves them no closer, because they have to give a reason for the third fight.
Gotcha.
Because it has to build Bradley up as a legitimate contender and a legitimate name, so Pacquiao has that leverage to use against Mayweather to get the 50-50 split that Pacquiao wants.
Well, I'll leave it at this. I'm not really buying your conspiracy theory at all, but
I think it makes complete sense.
I'll tell you what makes sense.
The world of boxing.
What you're saying, what makes most sense is the outrage from the media. It doesn't that's what doesn't make sense to me, and I think you're probably more than likely dead on on that one. Well, the media wants this Mayweather fight, and they're overreacting to the decision, which is probably close to correct. The fight could have gone either way, and it was a split decision. What a big shock! The fight could have gone either way. Everybody scored it that way, except the hardcore Pacquiao fans, and we got a split decision. It seems completely reasonable there was a split decision. I don't know about all the other stuff. Time will tell. And we'll be here next May, and then I'll keep this session, and then we can talk about it. But I do think it does look like there's a media overreaction. I do agree with you on that. There seems to be a complete overreaction.
Oh my God! Everyone's lost their mind.
Yeah, it is. It's nuts. I saw a bunch of the boxing took a step back. Did it really? It was a close fight, and it got split. The decision got split. I mean, unless I go on and watch this fight, which I pretty much have to do now. Yeah. When I go and and we'll talk about it later, unless I see a different fight than you. But I'm going to assume that you're correct.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If I'm completely talking out of my ass on all of this, then nothing else can happen the way I said it would.
Okay.
Pacquiao will knock him out in the next fight, and then where does that put Pacquiao? Nowhere.
All right. We'll see. Super.
I don't know. It's interesting to me. I think from a logical standpoint, and knowing the boxing world as well as I do, I love boxing.
It is crooked as hell.
It's crooked as hell. But people are right. Boxing is almost dead anyway.
Yeah, MMA is way better.
The only reason why this makes sense is because it's the only way to set up a mega fight. And by doing it this way, with the way I just said, it sets up 2 mega fights. It sets up the Bradley Pacquiao part 3, which will be huge by that point because Bradley will be legit. And then it sets up Mayweather Pacquiao for next year.
And then it looks like the WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's got drama. It'll be the biggest fight in the history of anything.
We'll stay tuned to that and what have you. Do you have anything in geek news? Do you have any other stuff besides?
I didn't prepare for any of that.
Nothing. Yeah, like on geek news.
We just did a show yesterday, so
yeah, I know. There's not a hell of a lot going on out there.
No geek news.
No geek news. I'll mention the Norfolk Admirals. Congratulations to them. They won the Calder Cup. What's it called? The Calder Cup? What the hell is it called? Yeah, after that weird decision, I'll give a little shout out to them. Oh, Jesus. It was a 6-1 destruction of the Toronto Marlies. Marlies got a bad break because they no offsides called in an overtime game that led to a freak goal. But apparently the Admirals had pretty much dominated most of the series anyway, and it may not have made that much of a difference, especially with a 6-1 victory. So good for the league. We said this yesterday. Good for the league for actually going out in there and saying, "Hey, look, we screwed up." But I guess it didn't really make that much of a difference.
No, it didn't make much difference in the end.
No, it didn't. Sidney Crosby, he's looking for a 10-year deal. 10-year deal. Why is that the big thing to do now? I guess because you always get traded.
I don't know. I don't like
$9 million 10-year extension.
Oh, that's insane. That's asinine.
They're saying he could get it. CBS is reporting he could get it.
Well, yeah, Pittsburgh has to pay him.
Yeah.
They have to pay him.
I guess they would.
Yeah, I mean, they can't let him go.
I give a shorter deal. You know, I mean, Mr. Concussion, he's always, Yeah.
But if Sidney won't accept a shorter deal, I mean, it's an impact. It's the Drew Brees situation in New Orleans right now.
What does he want?
Brees wants to get paid as the best quarterback in the NFL because statistically, he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
No, I hope he gets some money. Let's get some money.
And the Saints are like, no, you'll take what we like, and Brees have basically told him to suck on his nuts.
Yeah. The Phoenix Coyote deal got approved, which I don't know if it's a good thing or not. Apparently some conservative group was trying to stop it, which for reasons I didn't understand.
Oh, Arizona's all messed up anyway.
Oh, God. This is a nightmare. And I don't even know if it's good that a team's even over there. I mean, they've been in the league, 15, 16 years now, and
tracked them.
Hasn't really done anything. They had Wayne Gretzky as a coach. They had a run in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs. They have a pretty good team all around. I think another player.
They have a bunch of thugs.
They got a bunch of thugs, but I mean, ask the 1970s Philadelphia Flyers. Ask them how much that sets up.
I think Phoenix played on 99% thuggery, and they got behind a hot goalie. I think they overachieved in the playoffs, and they are going to have a hard time next year.
Oh, hard time? Well, what if they pick up a Nash or something like that? Well, if they can make a move,
that changes everything. I can only comment on their roster as of right now.
Sure. Yeah, I think if they could, but see, I don't know if they have the money to make moves because they basically have been under the tutelage of the NHL.
Yeah.
And now they're actually going to get an owner, and who knows if he's going to spend money?
Yep.
Who knows if he's not going to? That'd be funny if he dismantled the team.
Yeah, who knows? It could happen.
Oh, let's do the plugs. You got plugs, baby?
I always got plugs.
I do too. Go ahead. You want to start?
Well, first, I will once again blast my brother because he's horrible and so is Chaos Hour. But if you want to read horrible reviews from a horrible reviewer, please go check out Chaos Hour.
What do they do over at Chaos Hour? What's their thing?
They horribly review horrible things for the horrible public to horribly enjoy.
Oh, well, that sounds horrible.
It does. It's horribly horrible.
Is it like comic book stuff, or what do they do?
It's everything in nerd culture. They do movies. My brother, in fact, did a review on the portal gun replica. He did. He really did.
You've got to be a colossal douche for a gun head. What was his review?
Very positive.
Maybe you could portal him over to your show.
Maybe. He won't come on my show.
Well, maybe he needs a portal gun.
He won an award, so he's too big for my show, apparently.
Oh, really?
His wife also reviews, Sasha Robbins, and she did a review on Prometheus.
Oh, how was that? How did that go?
Well, I don't know. It was a good review, but I don't know. Prometheus is kind of like the Pacquiao fight. There's a lot of reasons, a lot of theories out there, but I don't know how good the movie actually was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
Any other plugs? You got your book?
My horrible book, Chronicles of L.J. Stevens. Check it out. I don't care. And then, of course, my show, This Guy's Take on It, which is not horrible, by the way.
No, it's not horrible at
all.
It's
only getting better, and if you don't like it, I don't care, because I like it.
I like your intro. I know you're thinking about doing something with that, but I like your intro.
I'm going to keep it, I've decided. I was going to have one of my... here's another person on blast. My worthless... One of my best friends on the planet, the worthless Justin Hill.
What's so worthless about him? Oh, really?
Worthless.
Well, why'd you plug him then?
Haven't heard from him in a month. He's
Well, you could go to johnfreemanmusic.com, johnfreemanmusic.com, and might I suggest a closer for your Freeman music. I think you got the beginnings right, but maybe you need a nice outro like the one you're hearing now. Sound like a good idea.
That'd be very good, and especially if he's not a douchebag like my friend is.
I think he's douchebag proof. I think he's the anti.
Oh wow.
And John will, maybe I'll send this over to him, and then actually John's a big fight fan. I wonder what his opinions are on the fight.
Oh, I'm sure he won't do anything for me now because
I don't know. No, John. No, he's an outside the box thinker.
I'm a lunatic.
I could see him.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, he's an outside the box thinker. So if he saw it that way, he may agree with you. Actually, I'll make sure he hears the show so he gives me some feedback on it, on your Pacquiao theory and what have you. So yeah, he may more than likely. I think he's.
I do want to say one thing on that.
Sure.
I am not saying that this was a fix. I'm not saying.
Oh no, I wasn't suggesting that.
No, I think it kind of came off that way. I'm simply giving an explanation for those who say it is a conspiracy.
Okay.
I can defend that with everything that I said. That's all I'm saying. It could be the greatest screw job in history. I didn't see the fight that way. I saw Bradley being a lot more into the fight than people were giving him credit for. That's all.
Well, I will give you this. The media outrage seems suspicious at best. I'll give you that for. I don't know if it goes as far as conspiracy, but it does seem suspicious at best. You can hit the host of Shot from the Point, Tommy C, at Jersey Ghosts on Twitter. The link's right below.
My Twitter too.
Yeah.
My Twitter. My bad. My Twitter at David W. Vancura.
And at Jersey Ghost, JERSEYGHOSTSSEN, Jersey Ghost plural. If you enjoyed our conversation with Mr. Jake Link, Jake Link has no website. He has nothing to go to, log to. He told me to tell you guys to look him up. That's Jake, J-K-E-L-I-K on Facebook. Jake Link. He's getting his comedy together, and supposedly.
What, did you get the homeless comedian?
Yeah, I think I did. But Jake's a real Devils fan, and Jake, he's gonna
go to GoDaddy.com and get himself a website.
He doesn't think they're gonna make it either. He doesn't think they're gonna pull it off.
I don't think so either. Game 6, I think it's over.
Yeah, but Jesus, if they win Game 6, it's gonna be. I still think the Devils are in it. I think they're back in it.
If they win Game 6, then it's probably a fix. I run.
Yeah. All right, yeah, that's right. Jersey Ghosts, Dead on Dave, Chronicles of L.J. Stevens. Check it out on Amazon.
Chronicles of L.J. Stevens.
Yeah, Chronicles of L.J. Stevens. That's it for this impromptu show. Please. When is the next game?
Probably a week from tomorrow.
A week from now. Make sure you check out the next game. No, it's actually on the 13th, which is a Tuesday.
It's on the seriously?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Yes, it is. No. It's on the 11th. I apologize.
It's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yes.
Oh my God, we may skip this. This show's been a train wreck.
Yes, it has been. But you know what? I actually think it's a lot more entertaining than you think it is.
Well, you know what? I usually do. This show's been a train. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast portion of the Shot from the Point. I am Tommy C, and this is
Dead on Dave.
Thank you
Stay
very
away from those bath salts, people.
Yeah, stay away from bath salts and bath salts. Yeah, goodbye. Everybody have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye. So long.